एक मंच जहां मिलती है महत्वपूर्ण जानकारियां।
सवाल हो और जवाब दूं।
एक मंच जहां होते हैं हंसी और ठहाके।
वाह।
एक मंच जहां होती हैं चर्चाएं।
दूसरी वाली आपको नहीं समर्पित करूंगा।
नहीं कीजिए, बड़े स्पोर्टिंग।
आप पहले सुन लीजिए, उसके बाद कहिएगा आपको चाहिए समर्पण कि नहीं चाहिए।
एक मंच जहां मिलेगा लोकप्रिय संगीत।
और इन सब के बीच एक ऐसा मंच जहां मिलता है सब कुछ। लॉग ऑन कीजिए www.radioudaan.com और जुड़ जाइए हमारे साथ।
सजन सावन में
सागर किनारे
जा मैं हूँ क्या।
समझे जी, अब ग से बोलिए।
अरे ग से गजब का रिजल्ट आ गया। अब हम ग से कट करते हैं और पी से पॉइंट लेते हैं रेडियो उड़ान अंताक्षरी में।
ब्रेक लेना है तो आप भी थोड़ा अंताक्षरी खेल लेना जी।
अजी ब्रेक क्यों लेना है, पार्टिसिपेंट आने दो और हमारे साथ मौज मनाने दो। रेडियो उड़ान पर हर सैटरडे 9 से 10 रेडियो उड़ान अंताक्षरी डिफरेंट आरजे के साथ।
A look into a book with Bala Nagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss. Vanakkam, Vandanam, Namaste, Namaskar, good evening and welcome to A Look into a Book, an excavation for eternal bliss on your master of entertainment, Radio Udaan, a flight of life. Dear all, here comes Bala Nagendra live from Chennai with a treasure in your treasure hunt show, Look into a Book, an excavation for eternal bliss. Today, this is an auspicious day without a doubt. We are having a journey of our treasure hunt show towards its silver jubilee. 25th book review will be on 29th of July 2014. So this has happened to be the journey towards 25. That's why today I've come with a phenomenal treasure that most of us might have read or few might have heard. I am 100% sure there won't be anyone who can say I didn't heard of this title. This is what today's special on. I'll look into a book, an excavation for eternal bliss. What we are going to deal today: mystery, detective, conspiracy, and thriller. Before delving into my proceedings, thank you one and all for your recommendations, suggestions, ideas, and incisive indictments for the enlightenment of myself and my show, A Look into a Book, an excavation for eternal bliss. Here I take a moment to thank few who have recommended me some changes that can be incorporated and inculcated while revamping and renovating my performances in the future. I thank Komal Patil from Mumbai, Maharashtra, my friend who suggested me to do different genres every week. Thanks to Danish Bro, the General Secretary, Radio Udaan, who has suggested some books which will be reviewed in the future. Thanks to Rajiv Bambri Bro, the advisor and my well-wisher, who have introduced a phenomenal author, Jeffrey Archer, and many more that are awaiting to take in your place. And thanks to Riddhi Soni, my well-wisher, guy, and my good friend, who has given me various creations, treasures to hunt in the future. Let's plunge ourselves into a look into a book, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss. Today, Journey Towards 25, a special review. To give feedbacks, as you all know, but for the concern of new listeners, I take this moment to say, type in your address bar www.radioudaan.com, radioudaan.com, to give your feedback, where you can find a link, submit feedback. Excellent, very good, good, okay, poor are the choices. Your choices, my key towards success. The keystone that will unveil the holy grail of a look into a book, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss. Some of you might have guessed what I'm going to review today. As I said, keystone and holy grail. Well, today in our show, look into a book, Journey Towards 25. On this fascinating 22nd review, we are going to talk about mystery, detective fiction, thriller, and a conspiracy fiction. The book that has earned the title of the most read book of all time, released in the year 2003 by an author from the United States, received heartfelt appreciations and outrageous criticisms and condemnations without a hint of doubt. It's none other than the dazzling Dan Brown. Today we are going to see his detection that shook Vatican Church in particular and the Catholic community in general, and startled those who believed the tradition of 2000 years. Today we are going to witness what he has kept in that 400 pages of English paperback. The Da Vinci Code talks about the puzzle, the code solved with the help of Leonardo da Vinci, and the code that says the way of keystone, the Holy Grail. Let's plunge ourselves into reviewing the Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown in our look into a book, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss, a journey towards 25 on Radio Udaan. A look into a book with Balanagendran, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss. The Da Vinci Code, the second series of Robert Langdon, written by Dan Brown, the author based on the United States, talks about the destroyed, or perhaps the dumped history, as I personally believe, all fictions are not an imaginative output, and all imaginative output cannot be a reality, and it depends upon what we perceive, what we understand, what we interpret, and what we believe. Finally, the belief is what matters. Today, whatever we say about the book are the views of Dan Brown that I have interpreted. There is nothing to hurt the beliefs, faiths, worships, and the code of conduct of anybody's personal interpretive opinion and perception. Henceforth, by assuring that whatever we say in this review are all what Dan Brown has given to me and what I have interpreted, nothing more else. The Da Vinci Code, released in the year 2003, occupied the New York Times best-selling novel, translated into more than 4 languages, and the book alone sold for more than 80 million copies in a month. The best-selling book and the most read book of all time. Afterwards, the previously written books of Dan Brown have become the best-selling books. The decoder of the Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown, what he says in his book is what matters. It's up to us to believe or to omit. Let's begin. What Prayer of Sion, what the Opus Dei Secret Society, what the Vatican Church, what Isaac Newton, what Robert Langdon possess to reveal in front of all of us. And look into a book, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss, Journey Towards 25. Today, Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code. A look into a book with Balanagendran, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss. Author's note. I take this moment to say that all the artworks, architecture, documents, and facts are accurate. Prologue. The Louvre Museum, France, 10:46 p.m. As he startling with his bare old legs, Jacques Zonnier pulled up a painting to seal the gate. Between the gate of the security gate and the main door entrance, there was a bloated, strong, young Albanian man with black robes. His blue eyes with orange-colored pupils stunned Jacques Zonnier. He was crawling on his feet to avoid his gun focusing at his head. "Where is it?" asked that Albanian priest. "I don't know," said Jacques Zonnier. "Then you deserve to die." He focused his gun at his head. Then he said, Jacques Zonnier uttered a word. It is in Saint Sulpice. This is what all the three said. You're going to be the fourth one. And after your death, I'm going to be the last. There was a splash of a bullet into the stomach of Jacques Zonnier, and the Albanian priest backed himself towards the entrance. Jacques Zonnier, feeling and writhing in pain, felt the blood is pouring in, and knowing that he is about to die, have helped his left index finger to take the blood, and he has written a symbol on his belly, and he positioned himself. He has written something around him and had his last breath. Prologue ends. Chapter 1. The telephone is ringing. That clings into the head of Robert Langdon like something noise is clanging around his ears. An inkling that strikes him. He grabs, but nothing, the wind. He woke up and squinted to his clock and found that it's 12:30 a.m. Dan Brown's specialty is providing the entire novel in the gap of 24 hours, that is one day. No novel will take more than one day. That is what the specialty of this great author, who has given some historic facts with a fiction. Robert Langdon held up the receiver to his ears. Monsieur Langdon? Yes, said Langdon. I am General Colette, calling it from the Directorate Central Police Judiciaire. CDPJ, puzzled Robert Langdon. What they have to do with me at the time of 12:30 p.m., 12:30 a.m. He was looking at, and he said, the person with a whispering, stiff tone, one of my security guards is on his way to meet you. There is something urgent. We are in need of your help. Unable to find what is that, he said, I'm sorry. Do you know the time? What is that? I apologize if I have woken you up, said the watch, and he hung up. A few minutes later, Robert Langdon heard the fist knocking at his doors. He has opened and seen a thin, white, complex-faced, royal blue, uniform-dressed security guard, who has taken Robert Langdon to the Louvre Museum of the Grand Gallery. Before that, before proceeding further, have you heard of the history of Jesus Christ? Undoubtedly yes. Despite religious differences, everybody in the world might have heard the name Jesus and his mother, Lord Mary, or Goddess Mary. His father, some predict it to be Joseph, or some predict it to be the power of enlightenment. But Dan Brown says something different. Have you heard what is Q document? Have you heard what is meant by Holy Grail? Is that Grail really a person, or some vessel, or some object, or any other symbol that Christianity adopted? What Dan Brown says about the destroyed history, what he said, what he says about the royal blood. Does Jesus had a sexual union? Then who is his wife? What is the name of the first royal lineage, or the kid of Jesus Christ? Everything will be answered today. For that you have to stay tuned to Radio Udaan and look into a book, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss. Today, a journey to 25. with Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code. We are going to witness some secrets unveiled by the author who earned world fame, goodwill, come the outrageous criticisms from the Vatican Church. Why? Because of the secret that he tried to unveil about the Holy Grail. Who is Mary Magdalene? The whore, the prostitute mentioned in the Bible. But is she really? It's the million-dollar question. Let's wait what Dan Brown will say. Stay tuned to Radio Udaan, a Flight of Life.
Words, words, words. Let's sing in the ocean of words and explore its origin, meaning, usage, and many other known and unknown facts about it. Let's sail in the world of magical words and travel far with entertainment. To listen, Ocean of Words. Every Wednesday from 10 to 11 p.m. log on www.radioudaan.com.
A look into a book with Balanagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss.
Robert Langdon entered the Grand Gallery. The way of Robert Langdon's travel has been explained by Dan Brown that will make us feel that we are traveling with him. This is, as usual, a cliched that we can say Dan Brown is the best in description of the environment. As General Bessuffage, a person who has found the secret of what Jacques Zonnier has written, invited Rabel Langdon into the Grand Gallery. Walking towards it in the dark lit light, he is exposing to the museum's grand galleries and worried that he is unable to spend a minute with these artifacts. Moving straight away towards a dome where the white marbled statue located. 30 feet away from the statue, he has found a man lying in hard naked and in the crucifying position of an eagle. Above him there was a light hanging that makes it clear that the person before his death want to make sure that his message has been sent clearly. Robert Langdon squinted into the person's belly and frowned. Pentacle, murmured Robert Langdon. What is pentacle? Probably pentacle is nothing but the five-ended star. If you have looked into the star symbol, some of them have 5 ends. All the ends will join in a single round. That is what pentacle. He said to Bessuffage, this is the pentacle, the symbol of the pagan religion. Devil's worship, uttered Fudge. No, 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 replied Langdon with utter clarity. He said, paganistic religion has nowadays been portrayed as devil's worship, but it is the one that is the origin of many. It talks about the balance of man and woman. If men and women are balanced, then it's harmony. If men and women are imbalanced, then it's chaos. He was explaining the symbol, and that's where the author explains the secret behind why Olympics are held in 4 years difference. The planet Venus is considered as the goddess Venus, that is the female deity. It will draw the exact symbol of pentacle in his 4 years of revolution around the sun. That is why the Greeks held Olympics in the gap of every 4 years, and they will exactly make on the day, that is, they will exactly conduct Olympics on the day when the Venus finish his revolution with the shape of a pentacle. Pentacle shows the feminine genital. It shows the feminine goddess nature. It is not the devil's worship, it's the symbol of godliness, thought Robert Langdon, and he explained everything. Even the shape of the body has been kept. It is nothing but a Vitruvian. That is, a person who arranged himself before dying in the position of a pentacle by waving his hands two sides and his legs and his head. So it will look like the 5 ends. The round is his body, the pentacle version. That's how Jacques Zonnier has kept himself before having his last breath. Then the general took Robert Langdon closer to a cryptic message written on the floor. Nearby that floor there was a pen in the hand of Jacques Zonnier. The pen depicts that it cannot be read with an open eyes. It can only be read with a purple black light. Flash the light and the message glue in front of Langdon's eyes. The first line says 13-3-2-21-1-1-8-5. Second line says, "Oh draconian devil." Third line says, "Oh lame saint." Suddenly there was a voice behind Robert Langdon. "Monsieur Langdon, I have a message for you from the embassy." A woman who is at the age of early 30s with a chocolate color, cream colored, knee-length tops and a black legging with the olive green eyes glaring at Robert Langdon. Shaken by her gaze, Robert Langdon holded her palms with tenderness. Then she has given the number that she needs to talk urgently, which the general denied with frustration. Later, however, he has spoken to the embassy where Sophie knew the woman that met Robert Langdon now, saying to Robert Langdon that he is in danger, that the District Central Judicial Police suspects that Robert Langdon might have been the one that has killed Jacques Zonnier. Then Robert Langdon and Sophie Neveu met in the restroom, where Sophie Neveu revealed another secret to Robert Langdon, that he is being watched by the security agency with the camera that is there in his robe. That's where he has found that people are suspecting. And she has showed the paper, the printed copy of the snap taken at the dead body of Jacques Zonnier. The first line reads, 13-3-2-21-1-1-8-5. The second line reads, "O draconian devil." Third line reads, "O lame saint." Fourth line reads, "P.S. Find Robert Langdon." That's where he found, confirmed, and came to a conclusion to accept what Sophie Neveu says. Sophie Neveu revealed that she is the granddaughter of the dead Jacques Zonnier. Then she helped Robert Langdon to escape. How they have escaped is a phenomenal description. Read it, you will cherish it. That's where she has thrown the tracking button camera with the help of a bar soap from the restroom into the truck and diverted the attention of the security. They have escaped and they have traveled with the code. What is meant by draconian devil? What is meant by lame saint?
Seven days, 168 hours, 10,080 seconds. The world faces infinite amount of changes. Thunderous, terrorizing, terrible and tantalizing events. Everything will be kept in 60 minutes. Only on Radio Udaan, World This Week, a walk on the globe. Every Sunday 8 to 9 p.m. with Balarangendran. Don't forget to tune into Radio Udaan to listen to World This Week, a walk on the globe.
You are listening to Radio Udaan, Radio Udaan, Radio Udaan, a flight of life. For more information, log on to www.radioudaan.com. Happy listening.
A look into a book with Balanagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss.
Jacques Zonnier, body has been covered with a round circle blood. That's where Robert Langdon came to a conclusion that he is talking about Leonardo da Vinci, and the lame saint code is nothing but Mona Lisa. That's where they have found the key, the golden key that says PS. PS is nothing but Princess Sophie. Why she is Princess Sophie is what the landmark conclusion of this book. You will surely stunned, feel astonished while reading Robert Langdon's The Da Vinci Code, the great international best-selling book. That's where everything has begun. They have traveled to a bank and they have found the secret behind that numbered code. Sophie Neveu happened to be the cryptographist, has decoded that code by writing that code into the ascending order that says 1, 1, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Something clicked into the mind of Robert Langdon and he said, Fibonacci sequence, one of the mathematical progressions that is known around the world. One of the mathematical progressions that solves many secrets, difference between the kilometers and the miles. Fibonacci sequence. They have typed the password. Then the box opened from the bank. That's where the rose-wooded small briefcase came into the hand of Sophie Neville. With the help of that, they have escaped before the squads capturing and surrounding the bank. In between the truck incident, everything will be awesome as they have escaped with the bank container, where the driver happened to be the bank manager, Andre Vernon, one of the friends of Jacques Zonnier, who finally planned to kill Sophie Neville. Why is what the secret? Because he wanted to protect Jacques Zonnier's secret. And then, by pushing him outward, Robert Langdon started driving the truck, and he has chosen to meet the man who know about this Holy Grail and the cryptic text, the keystone, more than anybody else in the world. One of the followers of the Prairie of Sion, Jacques Zonnier, they have meant him a lot. Robert Langdon chosen to go to the outskirts of France, where to meet the paralyzed Lee Teabing. Wait here, Lee Teabing is the master who is going to unveil all those secrets that we have questioned in the beginning. Who is Jesus Christ? How Christianity has come? Who is Mary Magdalene? What is the name of his first kid? Is all going to be answered by Lee Teabing. Stay tuned.
मधुर और चटपटा संगीत सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर, फिल्मी गपशप सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर, खेल और समाचारों की बातें रेडियो उड़ान पर दोस्तों, समसामयिक विषयों पर चर्चा और परिचर्चा और डिबेट के हमारे प्रोग्राम्स, अंताक्षरी से लेकर और न जाने क्या क्या, अरे सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर दोस्तों। और कहां, जी हां, आपका ये नया रेडियो स्टेशन रेडियो उड़ान लेकर आया है आपके लिए कंप्लीट प्रोग्राम बोनेंजा। हमारी वेबसाइट का पता है www.radioudan.com। तो सुनते रहिएगा रेडियो उड़ान, रेडियो उड़ान, रेडियो उड़ान, रेडियो उड़ान।
क्या आप इच्छुक हैं जानने के लिए भारतीय राज्यों की संस्कृति, पहनावे और खान पान के विषय में?
बड़े सूरजो तारो मारो बने आपनो सूर निरालो। तो आइए मेरे साथ रेडियो उड़ान पर हर बृहस्पतिवार रात 10 से 11 प्रोग्राम डेट विद अ स्टेट में। इस प्रोग्राम के दौरान आप हमें हमारी स्काइप आईडी रेडियो उड़ान पर कॉल भी कर सकते हैं। अधिक जानकारी के लिए लॉग इन करें www.radioudan.com।
A look into a book with Bala Nagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss.
They have entered into the house of Lee Teabing, and Langdon hidden the rose-wooded box that contains the keystone under the velvet furniture, and he has sat on that, guarding it too perfectly. There was a crutch sound. Lee Teabing, a silver medal legged man, climbing down the stairs. He said, "Have you got a maiden with me? Have you got a maiden to me, Langdon?" And Langdon insisted Sophie Neveu not to mind because he is humorous in this case. That's where everything has begun. They have started talking about Holy Grail. In the meantime, the Opus Dei, Albin, who killed Jacques Zonnier, Silas, the priest named Silas, is focusing towards the keystone. Why? To destroy it and to save the Vatican Church's dignity and integrity. The Opus Dei informations are shocking. You read it. What is corporal mortification? They will slap in their body and will make it bleed, and they won't rectify the wounds, and they will consider it as the way to recuperate from the sins that they are committed, and they are surrendering themselves to the God. They will tie at their thighs a steel barbed robe to slash their flesh so that the bleeding will make them feel that they are surrendering themselves to the God. The Silas is chasing Robert Langdon without the consent of Langdon. That's where they have started talking about Holy Grail. Lee Tebing said to Sophie Neveu, "Do you know about Holy Grail, dear?" She said, "I heard somewhere." "Oh, then you are a virgin, isn't it?" Then they have begun and saying, he has said, Holy Grail is something that most in the world want to seek, but none want to find. It is the thing that hiddens the secret of the entire world. Wherever you go, you cannot stay away from the symbol of Holy Grail. That's why he has started saying, "Did you heard about paganism?" Sophie said, "Yes, devil's worship." No, paganism is the one that made Christianity to stay in the world till date. In the year 325 AD, the Constantine, the compiler of the present day New Testament Bible, has merged paganism with Christianity. Startled by the words of Lee Tebing, Sophie said, "Do you mean?" Tebing chuckled and said, "Nothing is original in Christianity. The symbols that they have taken are the symbols of pagan, the religion that worshipped nature." Sophie asked, "Then what about Jesus?" "Undoubtedly, Jesus has born in the world," Tebing said, "but not as a supreme power, but a powerful human inspiration. He is a family of the Jewish king Solomon and a son of King David in the Jewish dynasty. Jesus, the person and inspiration who has been turned into the divine force by some forces in the Vatican." And he also said, I quote, "December 25th, according to the historic corporals that have been excavated in the year 1945 and 1950, says that December 25th is not the birthday of Jesus. On the day, the Orisis, the Greek god, the Dionysus, and the Arionis, the goddess of Greek and Egyptian mythology, were born. The Orisis is the god who was born in December 25th, and the Isis, the lady woman nursing her son Horus, is what the same practice carried on by the Christianity, where Mary nursing her kid Jesus. Stunned, and she felt that something revolving, earth is revolving around us. And she asked, then what about Mary? T being chuckled. The original irony that you have to accept is that Christianity is a religion that compiled the beliefs and practices of paganism. At the bed of his death, the Constantine, one of the arrogant businessmen who ruled Rome, has been baptized by the Catholics or the followers of Jesus. And because of the war, the bloodshed, the killings, the rampage and the outrage, the Christianity has been baptized to Constantine, who merged paganism. That's where, before 325 AD, those who called Christians have followed Saturday as their day of worship according to the Jews' Sabbath. But after the compilation of Constantine, they have started worshipping the sun's day. They used to go to church on the sun's day, that is Sunday. Nothing is original that we have to accept in Christianity. Then because of this, you will receive a devout mail every day, isn't it? Asked Sophie Neville. Lee Teabing replied, why is it so? The educated, the truth, the faithful Christians know their origin. They know their reality. There is nothing to deny that there was a Jesus, but there is no divine power called Jesus. He added that the Christmas, Easter, and to announce Jesus as a divine force hasn't been came from the sky. It has been voted and selected by the vote of majority. In the 325 AD, before taking his last breath, the Council of Nicaea, the communion organized by Constantine, have voted and selected the days that has to be celebrated as Easter and the announcement as Jesus as a divine force. That's where they have destroyed the secret of Holy Grail. Sophie Neville said, why they have to destroy the secret of Holy Grail? Teabing smiled and said, damn good question. They have to destroy it to make Jesus to feel that he is a bachelor. He is consorted with women who denied sexual union. So you mean, vibrated Sophie, yes, Holy Grail is not something, it is someone. In fact, Holy Grail is a woman. Knowing this, then she asked, who is that? Did you heard about Mary Magdalene? Yeah, the prostitute. No, the view called prostitute has been given by the Vatican Church after the compilation of New Bible. There are 80 other Gospels written during the period of Jesus where the facts proves that Mary Magdalene is the wife of Jesus. Jesus married to Mary Magdalene and who had kids. At the time of his crucifixion, Mary Magdalene was pregnant and she has ran away to France where the Merovingian community, the dynasty that we read in history, has born with the help of this royal blood. The Merovingian is nothing but the dynasty originated from Mary Magdalene. She has given a birth to a daughter named Sarah. Sophie asked, Jesus had a daughter? Teabing said, you're damn right that the first kid of Jesus is a daughter named Sarah. Then he has taken a very big poster-sized book titled Gnostic Gospel, where he has shown the Leonardo da Vinci's picture, where the world-famed artist has written or painted Last Supper. The Last Supper picture depicts that Jesus holding a woman in his hands at his right side. That woman with red hair, folded hands, and a breast is none other than his wife, Mary Magdalene, said Lee Teabing. He also reiterated that, are you able to see how many glasses are there in the Last Supper? She said, yes, 13. Look at it, said Teabing. Then she has found only one glass. That glass full of wine depicts the communion in Christianity. Hence, Jesus is a Jew. He has been a Jew. That's why he married. Sophie asked, how can we believe that he has been married? For that, Teabing replied, in a Jewish community, it is embarrassing and demeaning to find a person who is unmarried, and they will consider him as Satan. Hence, there is no way in doubt that Jesus with a bachelor life. Mary Magdalene is a wife that the church want to destroy, so that they have depicted her as a whore and a prostitute in their Bible. Let's look into the Philip's Gospel, said Teabing, and he thumbed up a few pages. It says, I quote, as the companion of the Savior is Mary Magdalene. The Christ loved Mary Magdalene more than all the disciples and used to kiss her, often on her mouth. Sophie said, but there is nothing depicts that Jesus married to Magdalene. Teabing replied, everyone in the world will accept, according to the Aramaic language which Jesus has spoken, that companion is none other than the married person. And even he showed a gospel titled Mary Magdalene. At the modern day Bible, none of them would have read this Mary Magdalene gospel, said Sophie Neville. He said, yes, this is the reality. The history that has been made to destroy, however, the information survived, that has been excavated from the deep sea desert in 1945 and 1950. That's where he has said, Mary Magdalene has written in her own hands that Peter is jealousy of her. It goes like this, I quote, Peter, one of the disciples, said, why Savior loves her more than all of us? Are we all turned to about to all towards her? Is he prefer her to us? Levi replied, Peter, you still have been a hot-tempered one. If Xavier prefers her, who are you indeed to deny it? She know her more than anybody else. That's why he loved her. Here, the he referred to Jesus, her referred to his wife, Mary Magdalene. revolving by standing. Sophie Nivu looking into the picture, the books, again the picture and the books. Then Robert Langdon said, because of the modern day Christianity that denies the paganism and the previous religions existed. However, we cannot deny that all the practices that they take, that is mitre, altar, doxology, communion and God eating, are from paganism. Sophie Nivu also questioned, and Lee Tebing replied that there were more than 80 Gospels, but Bible has been chosen from Mark, Matthew, Luke and John, because that's where Jesus has been portrayed as a divine force. In other Gospels, he has been portrayed as a human force who had sexual union with a woman which happened to be his wife. Who is Mary Magdalene has been unveiled to Sophie Nivu, and from where Silas followed them, they have escaped to find where Holy Grail or Sophie Nivu's ancestor Mary Magdalene is cremated. They have gone to Switzerland. Yes, the author finally concludes that Sophie Nivu is one of the women with royal blood. The character Sophie Nivu may be fiction, Dan Brown says, but the documents, facts are accurate, that are not debatable. Even in his website, he has written, I'm not an antichrist and I don't want to demean Christianity, but I request everyone to consider this book as a tool to debate the reality. Whatever we do, whatever we hear, whatever we listen must be debated. The accurate documents cannot be denied, said the author. Friends, now it's time for me to take a leave. I hope you have enjoyed, and some of you might feel astonished what the Da Vinci Code really is. It is more than what I have said. I have said just 40 to 45% of the entire book. You read it the way Dan Brown deciphered the code, the way he portrayed the realities in the fiction, how Robert Langdon and Sophie Nivu have found the Holy Grail. What is the relationship with Isaac Newton? Isaac Newton, Mozart, Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci, Victor Hugo are all not Christians, is what Dan Brown portrays. They are the members of Prairie of Sion, those who protect the secret of Holy Grail to unveil at the appropriate time. Da Vinci Code, it's a real mystery. Da Vinci Code, it's a real thriller. I leave you all now. Feedback me, write to me about the show, www.radioudaan.com, radioudaan.com. I'll meet you all next week, Journey to 25, with another treasure that will boost your libido. Don't miss it. Important. This is the first time that we are going to deal with such kind of treasure. Don't miss next week, 15th of July, 9 to 10 p.m. when I look into a book, An Excavation for Eternal Bliss, with Balanagendran. I'll come with a treasure that will surely won't make you to sit. It won't make you to sit. If you are married, then you are gifted to listen. If you are unmarried, then you are booned to listen so that you can find something that will help you in the future. Meet you all next week in a look into a book, an excavation for eternal bliss. Till then, stay safe, take care of yourself, if possible, take care of others. As of now, don't forget to read the Da Vinci Code. Don't think whether is it true or false. Whether is it true or false, it is up to the beliefs, faiths, and perception of those who interpret. However, the bitter reality is the information survives. Thanks to Dan Brown for this wonderful creation. Thanks to all for your patient listening. Good night, buenas noches, vanakkam.
A look into a book with Balanagendran, an excavation for eternal bliss.